Hello and welcome to the podcast at the card table, in which we discuss creation, practice, performance and history with the greatest minds in Magic. Today's episode is brought to you by MAGICBOX, one of the UK's leading bricks and mortar magic shops, stocking everything from Murphy's, Penguin, Theory 11, Ellusionist and so much more. And with their price match guarantee, they'll never be beaten on price. Plus, as listeners of the podcast, you'll receive 10% off your order when you use code PATCT at the checkout. That's PATCT. Check the link in the description for more details. Without further ado, let's get on to the episode. Today's guest has worked with some of the most internationally recognized brands such as Miu Miu, Adidas, Bose, Samsung, Rimmel London, Sky Glass, and MAC Cosmetics to bring a touch of magic to their marketing campaigns, as well as consulting, performing, and lecturing worldwide on her unique approach to blending dance and magic to create unforgettable experiences. It is, of course, the incredible Sonia Benito. How are we doing today, Sonia? You well?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm incredibly well. I'm doing very good. I'm excited for this. Very excited.
Incredibly well. I love that.
Good. We're going to hop straight into this. We're going to go all the way back to when you first started in Magic, and we're going to go through to your origin story. So, how did Magic come about into your life, and why Magic?
Oh wow, you want a long story or the short one?
Medium, if that's possible, in between.
I love that. Okay, it sounds a little bit like a movie, I think. Because everything kind of started with like just buying a couple of tricks and stuff like that, you know. I started doing magic shows, putting magic shows together in school. And then one of the teachers, which was retired, he kind of was talking to me because they were like, oh my God, she does magic. And he just kind of introduced me to a couple of bits. And then sadly he passed away. And then the teachers of the school told me that he gave me all his tricks. He wanted me to have them. And then he gave me his doves as well. He used to have two. So I was like, oh my God, because I love animals and I love birds. Yeah. That's kind of how it started everything. And then I kept his doves, I trained them. And then I actually saw a performance from Jorge Blas in Spain, a really famous magician on TV. And he had a show with doves, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. So slowly in Spain, I don't know if you know, but usually like you have a house in the city, and some people have like in the village next to the city, they have a house, they have a garden. So in the villages, they have parties in summer where they can like, there's like music, live music, activities for kids and stuff like that. So I started creating my own little stage show with doves and stuff like that. And I mixed, because I was dancing as well. I was dancing since I was 6 years old. It was when I was 14, more or less. Yes, I started putting something together. My friend was assisting me, like my assistant, the beautiful assistant. My brother was DJing at the back. A couple of friends, I had like DJ friends that did like a little intro of like, welcome to the magic show of Sonia. And it was like with Pirates of the Caribbean music, with this rec music as well. That fucking town. It was really fun. It was like an hour show. And now I struggle to do an hour show.
Jesus, that was a lot.
It's a lot, but it was really fun because it was like 30 minutes. It was just with like magic and dance together each. And then it was 30 minutes with like audience, like participation with the audience. So again, for the village, it was really good. So, and then I was starting touring around the other villages. So that's kind of how I started. And that's my first job ever as a magician. And then I kind of decided to go to a talent show like the next year and got finalist. And then I was like, yeah, let's continue. And then I kind of carry on doing it alongside dancing as well. So like magic and dance has been like the whole time, all the time. Like dancing has never been all the time or like always equal.
Oh, nice. So it's been a perfect balance. It's not like a lot of people I feel fall in and out of their hobbies. And some take priority and then they go back into other things when they get bored of that. So it's cool to hear that there's been a balance. Have you always done sort of hip-hop style stuff, or has it changed over the years?
So I'm a ballerina. I'm a classic ballet dancer since I was 6 to 19. And then when I moved to Madrid, which I'm from a small city called Valencia, by the way, in Spain. When I was 17 to 18, I moved to Madrid. I was like, nah, this is too small for me. I need a big city. And I carry on dancing ballet, but then that's when I kind of discovered hip hop, because all the international choreographers were coming to Madrid to do workshops and stuff like that. And I was like, I discovered a whole new world, like Aladdin.
What was it about hip hop in particular that sort of drawn you to it? Was it like the fact that it was so artistically impressive? Was it the fact that you could be creative in your own movement? Because that's a very big difference from classical ballet to hip hop. That's a sharp change.
I think it was, first of all, it was just really cool, and it's just for a girl that comes from a rural place. To me, anything that was like hip hop is like coming from the movies.
Yeah,
like anything outside of Spain, I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is like from actual movies. That kind of, I loved it. And also just the music. I started listening to like hip hop music and stuff like that. Because in Spain, it was, by then, it was a lot of flamenco, a lot of reggaeton. Like we just very close-minded in that sense. We listened to a lot of Spanish music. So that was just something different. And I was like, I loved it. And also because I got to a certain point in ballet that I was like, how can I earn money from this? Like it is a very, 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 even more niche than the magic, but it was just very difficult to have a lifestyle that I will want to. Like, it will be just apply to a company and then just be in dancing for a company your entire life. And also you will kind of retire very, very early. I don't know. I kind of fell in love with hip hop and more commercial dancer, underground, because I dance a lot. I'm very versatile as a dancer, because that's kind of what you need as a dancer. You just don't want to be one. You want your specialty. You want to be good at something, but the rest, you kind of need to be good at the rest as well, because you never know what they're going to ask. And the more versatile you are, the better.
Obviously, you moved from ballet, which, as you mentioned there, obviously going into that sort of lifestyle, it's working for a company, it's very long hours, it's working in shows, rehearsing, practicing non-stop. The magic side of things in comparison to that, obviously there's lots of practicing goes on behind the scenes, but the hours that magicians work aren't as crazy as ballet. So it must have been a nice step away from that and a little bit more relaxed and chill moving into the magic side of things more so than dance.
Yeah, I think as well, now that obviously it seems like everyone has ADHD, right? But I do have it massively, and it shows during my whole life. Like I get really hyperfixated or something, and that's what has happened.
Yeah.
But for example, with magic, it kind of keeps you going, because it's very, to practice magic is very satisfying. I don't know. It's very calming because you're just in your hands. Yeah. Also, in general, in magic, you have so many departments that you can work on and that you can be open to. In dancing is the same thing as well, but it plays way more in industry and in like networking even more. If you want to be professional, you know what I mean? Like it is, and the lifestyle of a dancer, you do really need to like love it. When I say love it, like it's loving it. I love it, but I kind of lost it a little bit. And
you still need breaks from time to time.
Yeah, and also I like to do different things to keep me free.
Yeah.
And to like I believe that in art in general, you need to leave to express yourself. Because if you just focus on one thing, I mean, you can be focused a little bit for something and then perfect carry on. But I feel that you need to experience things. You need to experience sadness, happiness, like struggle, everything to be able to express that. And depending on what state of your life like you are will define it, right? I don't know where I was going with this.
I feel like art's more expressive when it's coming from something that you've personally experienced, because you're expressing the truth. You're not expressing like a character or something that you've created or something like that. It's experiencing and expressing something that's actually happened to you. So there's that raw emotion that you wouldn't get with other expression.
Yeah, I find it very interesting. Like, thanks God I am a dancer, because he has taught me everything. But within, like, if I only will just do magic, I'll be a completely different person, because dancing, it taught me how to, first of all, how to work with the camera, how to dress, how to do your makeup, how to pose.
You don't get those through magic?
No, unless you go.
It's not a thing.
Like, through magic, you just get like practicing like this the whole time. Maybe good at scripting. Maybe I'm shit at scripting. That's the only thing. Because who tells you have to talk? No, you need to spread yourself dancing, not talking.
It's a different type of expression. It's talking with your body.
Exactly. You know, that's my main one. But yeah, like I always say, like dancing, just dance and the industry has taught me so much, and like networking and how you need to behave at work and everything, how the art works. Let's say, I always say this example, but it is true. When you go and take a class, I mean, I'm talking from my old school mentality as a dancer. I don't know now. I don't know the Gen Z's how to do it. I think it's more with the camera and stuff like that, like posting on TikTok or on Instagram to get seen. Yeah. But for me before, it was more like you need to go to class. You need to go to the choreographers that are working all the time, and also the choreographers that like the oldest, because they know better. They know how the industry works, how you like what you do. First of all, you need to go to the front row. You need to be seen. You need to go full out, and you need to look good. You need to make sure you look good, because otherwise, like it's all you need to know how to sell yourself. This is in terms of like that maybe that to get a job or to get something, or to get into the industry a little bit more. And also you need to hang out with the same people. Like, you know, you need to make friends with them, because at the end of the day, this is what it is a big truth. At the end of the day, they will hire someone. It's like between one or the other, same level as goodness, quality. I will hire first my friend that I know they're going to deliver perfect, and they're going to have a good, they're going to be easygoing, easy to work with. They're going to deliver easy. That's someone else's that I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, also there's ways of like, there's always like ticking boxes, right? To be like, okay, we need a blonde, we need a ginger, we need a mixed race person and black, and like, you know, ticking boxes. Yeah. So if let's say I've got ginger hair, there's one girl that'll be booked for many jobs. So I'll be like the second option. But once she leaves, I'm like, oh, okay, come in.
Oh, sure one.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Like, your time will come if you cannot keep going, and then you keep showing up and you keep doing your thing and believing in, and that's like believing in yourself. And I'm like, just keep doing your journey, keep doing you, and don't look at the rest people. Like, they're different people, they have a different journey. So like it will eventually happen, you know. But yeah, that it cannot taught me so much. And then magic at the end of the day is, for me, is very creative. I can be myself. I can, without no one judging. I'm not saying that someone is judging in the dance world. I'm saying as a dancer, as a backup dancer, you are mainly needs to just follow choreography, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it is great, but for me, I rather like right now at the moment, magic defines me more, because I can't do whatever I want. Do you know what I mean? I can be very creative, mixing some like, I don't know, some idea that I have for like dancing, but I'm like, oh, but I can incorporate these visual effects as a magician, you know, like, yeah, I like to mix it.
Yeah, I think being out of the box as well definitely benefits you more in Magic than it does necessarily in dance, because they know what they're looking for in dance and they have this very specific picture that they're after of what choreography they want, what the person looks like, how they move. They have something that they want, whereas Magic, you're free to do whatever you want, and the more wild and wacky and creative it is, the better it tends to be for both yourself and the community.
Yeah, and as well, I think is, for example, the amount of people that are doing it. There's a lot of dancers. If you say no to something, they'll get someone else.
Yeah.
In Magic, it is a bit of a niche because it's such a small industry, you know?
Yeah.
They'll be more difficult to say, like, if you don't want to do it, you probably won't get someone like me.
Yeah.
Like, this is not being arrogant, but it is true because, like, we all kind of very different in general, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've not seen two magicians that are the same.
Which is a good thing.
Or male, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's great. So yeah, and to me as well, the most important part is that, as I said, that you can be yourself. You can play however you want to. I don't know. You can be funny. You can be mysterious. You can be just more laid back, or you can be a bit cool, or I don't know. Like you create your own personality.
Yeah.
And again, I feel that you are treated as an artist as well. In the dance world, they fight into, at least in London, I don't know in America, but they're trying to get more recognition and more better salary.
Yeah.
It's very good, but in here it's getting better. So yeah, because dancers are not treated amazingly well. And I can see it every time. For example, if I do another, let's say, and I'm the talent, I'm like the main person, you are treated amazingly well. Like you got someone who is looking after you. But then the dancers, you are lucky to get a freaking break or just proper food. You just get a sandwich. And I'm like, a sandwich, and then you are rehearsing for 8 hours on shoot, or sometimes you get like a 10 hours non-stop shoot dancing. Like
significantly more physically demanding than Magic.
yeah, like it's just the industry is completely different than what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like it's not that glamorous. So it's not that. For me, I just think also this time for me, it's like I needed to push Magic. I needed to like focus more on Magic. Both of them has been the same, but I've been, let's say, 7 years ago that I was just very focused on dancing. Like when I say focus, like 5 hours of my training every single day. And I was just trying to find, I'm like, okay, what choreographer is good for me? What do I have to do? And then also working at the same time, obviously, to pay my rent. It's so physical. Like I was working as a bartender until 3 a.m. The next day I had an audition at 9 a.m. And I was like, everyone is fresh apart from me. Yeah,
I feel tired just listening to that.
Right. But again, everyone hustles differently. At the end of the day, art is if you don't hustle, I think it's not worth it.
Yeah, 100%. If you're not willing to put the work in, you don't deserve to have the work.
Yeah, but I love, like, I wouldn't change anything of what I've done. That's the great thing. I'm like, yes, for a freaking dance.
So I think the real question here is, will we ever see the Doves make a return?
I mean, they passed away, but
I mean, Doves in general, not necessarily the same Doves.
I know, but you know what I think? That is so freaking cruel to do shows with Doves, and because I did it, and even though when I said that I did it, and my Doves were looked after so good. They were like, I was calling them, they were coming to me, like every time I was coming home, which when I was little, they were out. They were not in the cages at all. They were out the whole time. On the shows, when I made them appear, they would fly away. I will call them and they will fly back to me. Now that's how crazy it was. It was great. But but they were suffering so much. And I get very upset when people perform stuff. And I'm like, there is no need to use animals. There is not freaking need. Animals, frogs, insects, I don't care. A life being no hell, fuck no, sorry. Because you shouldn't use animals in your shows. Because they're not willing to, like, they don't have
a choice.
Great. No, if they are okay, it's because they're either broken or they're either like they just have to deal with it.
Yeah, they don't really have a choice in the matter.
No matter
I don't
them, because I treat them very nicely.
Yeah, that 90% of goodness doesn't make up for the 10% of being stuck in a harness.
That's what I mean. And I'm like, freaking harness is squished, and then a balloon popping out, and then a lot of music and lights and everything. Oh, they used to. Not shit. They used to.
Let's traumatized.
Let's
That's what it is.
Will and do the same thing. I promise you, he's going to get used to. But when he's probably 30, he's going to be traumatized.
Every time a balloon pops, he's like, oh, I'm here.
Right. There you go. Yeah, that's actually the one I was using. The balloon one that I was like, oh my God. And the hanky, the silk handkerchief. And then the one, and I was using the one that she was disappearing because I had two. So I was like, appears and then disappears. I was using both.
Yeah.
Now it's just not cool. It's just every time.
Times change.
Sorry for the magicians that do the doves. I'm sorry, I don't agree.
We're going to hop into a quickfire segment where we're going to get to know you a little bit better. We're going to ask you some questions about your likes, your dislikes, and maybe some industry gripes as well. So the first one is, what is your favorite sleight? And as we mentioned at the start of this doesn't necessarily mean a card sleight. It could be coins, it could be mentalism, it could be something prop related. Do you have a particular favorite sleight?
Oh, it's my signature move, which is the muscle pass.
Is there any particular reason why the muscle pass stands out to you as one of those sleights that just edges above other coin sleights?
Because it took me 6 months to learn it.
It's the reward to risk ratio, the learning curve.
That's my line. They actually took me 6 months, but to get it so perfect and with like different coins, and it's just because it's a slide you can perform it. Like I don't like to perform with sleeves because psychology. Because a lot of people just think it's living, which is you can do so many things with living, but there is something that is just so raw to see, like boom, it looks like actually levitates, and if there's a spotlight that kind of lights up the coin when it goes up, it's like what? So like the reaction you get is not hype, it's like oh, and I love it because it's kind of silent and they're like, what just happened? It shows the skills. It is very magical. Very proud of it.
I think it is entirely down to the fact that it's taken so long. Like every time you do it, you're like, yep, there's 6 months right there. It's why when people are talking about their favorite sleights and they're coming up with things like diagonal palm shift and things like that, they're all very physically tactile things, but they're stuff that take a lot of time to get down to a good level where it's, you're not flashing, it feels smooth, everything works. And I think that's what then makes it so enjoyable to do, because you've put in the effort to get to that position.
Maybe as well because that slide is not to hide anything. Like because people can appreciate this slide, like they can appreciate
everything's on view,
But no, because obviously one slide is to cover something, right? To but it's not. So they actually be like, oh, so it's okay for them to know, like, when they like, oh, it's a sleight of hand. So I'm like, okay, you do it.
There you go.
Like, oh, it's
come
like,
back in 6 months.
It's so simple. Like when people say those kind of things, I'm like, okay. It's like when you go to a dancer, they go on points. For example, ballet dancers, they're doing points. I'm like, it's just practice. No shit.
Yeah. Come on then. You put on the point shoes. Get yourself on your zip toes.
If that is you who is saying, oh, it's a sleight of hands, then change your mind now. It is completely true. Like maybe they just say it to like find themselves a little bit more relatable with you. Because magic is not relatable because it's freaking magic. But at the end, it kind of devalues the effort when they say that, and I'm like, no.
If anything, there should be more appreciation for the work
Yeah.
that's gone into it, not less. It shouldn't be, oh, it's sleight of hand. It should be, oh, it's sleight of hand.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be taken with gratitude as opposed to it being like, no, it's just,
Which I
just
have
sleight
to,
of hand.
I have to say, majority of people, they're like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then obviously some people that feel a bit like, but anyway, just the ego playing.
They don't deserve to see the magic.
You just flicker, and I'm like, oh no, really? I'm like, come on, just flicker.
You replicate that, and then we'll say, well, it's just sleight of hand.
Yeah. No, I play around with that. I play around like if I have magnets in my hands.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yes, magnets. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. Yeah, of course. Look like magnets. I do a horizontal. And then it's like, and then I said, like, no, listen, this is just literally 6 months of me practicing. I wish you would have,
If only it was that easy.
I know. I wish.
Do you have a particular favorite plot in Magic or a particular favorite category of Magic? Whether this be something that you perform or whether this be something that you enjoy watching?
I love in general, this is something I perform, stigmata.
Okay.
It basically you find out whatever information from them, and then appears, squish your arm, that appears on like the letter on the arm, and then you read the mind. I just think it's again very raw, very I love mentalism. Even I don't consider myself like a mentalist, but I do a lot of mind reading in my performances. That is one of them. And then another one lately, I'm not like, oh my God, I love this one. Everything is great for different circumstances, to be honest, because I do love to freestyle. I'm just don't have a set. I mean, I have one set for like a performance that I have here in London, but which it works very well for that particular scenario.
Yeah.
But for the rest, if I am performing for like corporate or just for a gig or something like that, I like to get the vibe of the people, and then I decide maybe I go with something very easy going for me, and then it's gonna get a good reaction to get the trust on me.
Yeah.
And then I can be more like with the mind reading, such as like, is it called the Angelo's touch? I love it.
Yeah, it's great with the arms.
Freaking love it. Once I saw it, and I was like, oh. And then I knew how it was done, and I was like, no, surely not. Surely they can see it, and no one can.
I think those kind of effects where the method seems too easy to be true are some of the best effects in Magic.
Yes, I perform it after the PATCT touch. So I do the PATCT touch.
Yeah.
Obviously, they always ask you to be like, oh, can you try on me? Can you try on me? So then I use 1%. And, oh, I'm just going to do it to one of you guys. And then they stop from there. Yeah. They stop asking, like, can you do it to me and stuff like that. Because it's, I don't know, it kind of, for me, it makes sense to do it after.
Yeah.
Kind of please their like needs. And it plays with a lot of choreography as well. And when you hit it well,
it's almost like a dance.
Yeah. And everyone is like, again, it's just something very subtle. And I'm like, oh, nice.
Yeah, and again, like, it is that raw nature of it's just you, it's just them. There's no, like, funny business. There's nothing. It's just, it's phenomenal. Yeah,
because I like to play around with I forgot where's the name of it. The PATCT touch has it. What is this? Like they have two versions, like whatever people feel in the stage is different than the audience. How is it called?
Dual reality.
Yeah, I love dual reality. I just think it's crazy. Like mind-wise, I'm like, wow. Yeah. Or sacrificing someone for the rest of people to enjoy a full effect.
Yeah.
It's something that becomes like very psychological. I think.
It's one of those weird things. I enjoy dual reality, but I only enjoy utilizing it when both parties get a good level of effect. If one person's getting a really shit effect purely so that the other guys could get something good, I don't think that's great because that one person still doesn't get like the best thing. But if you can keep it at a level where they're both getting, maybe they're two totally different effects that they're seeing, but they're still seeing something incredible on both ends. I think that's probably the best ways that dual reality are used.
PK Touch is that, right? I mean, PK Touch, they're both.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
both.
PK Touch, you're getting two different effects, but it creates its own effect, especially when they talk to each other afterwards. Like listening to people talk to each other afterwards, and they're like, "They didn't touch us, they did," and you get the back and forth, and then they're arguing, and yeah,
and involves everyone as well. Like you need audience because when I perform in like corporate stuff like that, I only do it kind of at the end when they oh, show me more or something like that, and I'm like, okay, now that we all together, I need you guys as a witness because I need them to believe me and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just. I love it because it involves everyone. It's not always a one-to-one or to two people and stuff like that. And again, they film themselves. I think it's very important. I'm very, very picky with the tricks sometimes to be like, if the audience are touching or grabbing or things like that, they are more involved in it.
Yeah.
When it's more visual, it is cool, but I say like visual, best for Instagram.
Yeah.
It is true, but at the end of the day, for like performance, you want them to get them involved in it. You want them to have it on their hand or something, or touch them, and just be involved somehow.
Yeah, 100%. Otherwise, they could just sit at home and watch it on their phone.
Yeah, I think it's just their attention span, to be honest, in general as well.
Yeah, I definitely think
I have
it. with social media and things nowadays, and obviously the fast dopamine hits of scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and things like that, I think a lot of people don't necessarily have the attention span to sit and listen to a story and watch a full routine progress and develop. They just want to see something cool and quick and fast. But if you can get them involved, if you can get them involved, then you can create their trick around them. It gets them in a totally different way to just being like, here's something fun and flashy.
Yeah, and also kind of they remember the time, and I find it very interesting as well what they remember and what they actually happened.
Yeah.
That makes me learn. Like, I love to hear what they're saying, because by hearing what they're saying, it might change your routine as well a little bit, to be like, oh, that's interesting that they felt that way, which it wasn't. Like, I haven't done that. But that's kind of what you remember, or that's the feeling that you had. I was like, great. Yeah, I love to kind of have like a little feedback of, oh my gosh, she did this. And I'm like, no, I
didn't, but thanks.
But I love it. Keep it.
If you could tell the person that hired me exactly that would be great.
Yeah. She levitated. I'm like, no, I didn't.
It was a card trick. Card trick. I think things with souvenirs as well, things both that they can touch and that they can take with them, leave an everlasting impression, because the magic obviously happens there in that moment, but the magic leaves with them, and the journey becomes so much more because they then take that item, whether it be an impossible object, whether it's something like Anniversary Waltz or something like that. They have something to show and tell that story again, and that keeps that magic going rather than it just being something happening in the moment, which, to be fair, things happening in the moment can be a good thing as well, because it's something that you can only see there and then. But if you can also share that magic, that's a whole different experience as well.
I agree with that, and that's kind of my, you say mojo? I don't know. That's kind of, I'm like, yeah, I want them for them to take something, or either my Instagram handy. Or like when I do anniversary walls, because I do it just with one card, signature.
Yeah,
I gave them the other card as well, even though it's not signed. But I'm like, at least you can remember. Yeah,
you have the story to
pick off cards every 2 hours.
Yeah, decks of cards aren't cheap nowadays. Let's just quickly, £3.50 a deck. They used to be £2 for £1. Like, where is this come from? Ridiculous.
I know. I need to stop giving cards away.
I think the answer to this next question might be a very short one, and the question is, what is your favorite book?
A book.
Yeah, you told me in advance that There may not be an answer for this one.
I'm sorry, and don't think I'm fucking ignorant. I do struggle. No, I read and I can read. I struggle with focus, and I've been trying for so many years, and now I am accepting that I don't like reading.
Way more of a visual learner, I
can read, yeah. But it's just, and also I'm very visual learner. Like maybe mentalism, I like if I read, maybe audible books, more for like theory or like mentalism and or color reading and stuff like that. I love to hear about it. I love to learn. But if I have to read to learn, like a trick, by a freaking picture,
make it a video.
And they were like, yeah, use your imagination. I'm like, yeah, but we're in 2025. We learn completely different. Why we keep doing this? I know there's amazing tricks in books, and I've tried it. Maybe I will do it once and be like, okay, let me just buy this book, which I do all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn all of them, and I don't.
Never touch.
But yeah, sorry.
We need more audiobooks in Magic. That's what we need. We need more audiobooks.
Yeah. I have, like, for example, I have all the Peter Turner because I love him as a mentalist. I'm like, boom. And I read some of his stuff and I actually perform it because I thought, oh, this is so interesting. I just wish it will be audiobooks. Imagine Peter. This guy.
Yeah. I'd say I'd listen to Peter Turner read his own books. That would be great.
I'm like, hey, do some like audiobooks, please. He's like, no, I don't have time, probably.
Yeah, Pete's a very busy guy. Do you have a particular favorite performance that you've seen? Whether this be a theatrical performance, it could, in your case, be a dance performance, or more specifically, Magic. A lot of people have mentioned in the past the likes of Darren Brown and obviously Derek Delgaudio. Do you have a particular favorite performance that stands out in your mind?
Okay, I thought it was Magic, so I think for Magic, I'm gonna say Justin Willman, because I think he's just so laid back, cool.
Yeah,
his magic makes sense. For everything, anything that he does, and I'm like, yeah. Or
his new Netflix special, sensational.
Yeah,
so
it's just good. Everything that he and his team does, and I'm like, that's kind of what I'm like. That's the style that I like.
Yeah,
because you have fun with Magic. It makes me wanna do Magic. That's what I love. Also, David Williamson. He is, for me,
funny.
He is the guy of
absolute genius.
Yeah, like as you said, like he's genius. He's a good friend of mine. Thanks God. I'm like, yes, taking me under your wings. But it's just because he has fun with it. And he doesn't play. Obviously, his technique and everything is amazing. But he is so passionate about Magic. He loves it. And that is contagious. And just the way that he is contagious. Like, you want to be around him. That's what I'm like, every time I'm like, David, man. I don't care. David Blaine. David, I like him as well. But for... Yeah, David Williamson and Justin Willman for like performances in general. Maybe I'm more into it now because for me it's a new thing. More immersive experience, I think, is very interesting.
Yeah, this is something that came up with another guest who I'm not going to name because their episode is going to release after yours. But we talked about it then. Things like Punch Drunk, which obviously have immersive entertainment down in London. Things like Phantom Peak. All absolutely sensational stuff.
Yeah, like I don't know, because I've been more involved with it, and I've got really good friends from Punch Drunk people, and I'm like, and also like I have auditioned, not for Punch Drunk, I auditioned for years ago when it first came up, Punch Drunk as a dancer, and I was like, wow. It was great, but I wasn't to the same level as contemporary dancer. I was like, no. But I did audition for Stranger Things immersive experience.
Yeah.
I was just not happy with the money, so I didn't get it just because of the amount of hours that it was, and I couldn't. You know how the magic works.
It's intense one, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just couldn't. I couldn't agree with every single day performances. It's like a West End show at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just couldn't leave out of from that only. So, but it was very interesting. Like they loved what I did because obviously it was movement mixed with magic.
Yeah.
Because I was like, perfect. And even though now if they want to audition again, I'm like, maybe I just go again and try it. But yeah, those kind of experiences and really into it now for some reason. And another one that I really like is called Fuerza Bruta.
Okay. Never heard of it.
It is not immersive, but everything happens around you.
Okay.
And it's a lot of like circus artists, dancers, music. It is really good.
I'm going to look into that. I think another thing that sort of blends immersive and is incorporating a lot more magical technique and theatrical technique as well is escape rooms are a massive thing now as well.
Never been in an escape room. I really want to.
Gotta get one done. Next time you're up this way, or if I'm ever down in London, we'll get one done because I absolutely love escape rooms. Yeah, I've done, I think, well over 100. So yeah, we'll get one sorted.
Okay, perfect.
We're going to move a little bit away from the niceties of everything that we've asked so far, and we're going to go into your magic industry gripe. This is something that maybe you don't believe fits into the magic industry. This could be things like doves and use of animals, as we've already mentioned, or it could be things like stuff that's been mentioned in the past, like egos, piracy. There's been a multitude of different things mentioned. Is there anything in particular that you think doesn't necessarily deserve a place in the magic industry?
Yeah, I say egos, but there's always going to be egos in every industry, to be honest. Maybe the fact of like telling you what to do and how to do it.
Yeah, there's enough space for everyone to be their own person.
Like there is so many ways to do something that there is not right or wrong. And I don't get it that much. When I get it from people, it's people that are not professionals.
Yeah.
That always message, oh, I way to do it this way. And I'm like, oh, no shit, but you're not me.
Yeah.
Like, that's my work for you. And also, it's just like an opinion that you haven't asked.
Yeah. Unsolicited opinions.
Thank you. There you go. Like, I am happy to get feedback, but from a friend, first of all, or from someone that maybe I look up to.
Yeah.
Because I'm always down to get better, because that's how you learn, by failing. But because it's not a failure, it's just a learn curve. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to mention names, but when I was doing the job, I just, a magician was like, oh, well, I would have done this. And I'm like, oh, but you weren't off the job, isn't it?
Well, and also, if you would have done that, why weren't you there doing that?
Exactly. And I'm like, well, they chose me for a reason, isn't it? So there you go. And the thing is, for these situations, you need to listen to the director and you need to put ego aside as a magician. This is when, as a dancer and as a little bit more, I don't want to get in the wrong words, because I have more boxes outside of just magic.
Yeah.
Or maybe in general, just to kind of treat in a professional environment, you just need to meet whatever the director wants.
Yeah.
And then not matter if you can freaking levitate and then blow up in the air, maybe that's what he doesn't like. He doesn't want that because he can do CGI for that, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just maybe I say egos in general, but I think it happens more in magic industry because it makes you feel like you God,
Yeah.
Because you know things that not everyone else's have. I don't like people that shows the secret though.
Yeah, exposing.
I'm like, if you're doing it in a clever way, or if you do it privately, or things like that, or it's just only just methods when it's like maybe that a lot of magicians uses. Or
yeah, I think exposing for educational reasons, fair enough. Mm-hmm. But exposing for the sake of views,
good.
Yeah, exposing for good. I think exposing for the sake of just viewership or like to try and, I don't know, impress people is just incredibly frustrating, especially as you say, if it's stuff that a lot of people use or it's a marketed effect that people have paid sometimes a lot of money for, that's then being exposed in 5 seconds on a TikTok for free. It's incredibly frustrating. But I think somebody mentioned in the past as well that if we didn't have expose, obviously it would be difficult for the industry to progress because there would not be as much teaching and people might not necessarily pick up magic that have because they've seen those expose videos, which is another thing.
I get it, but when I was little, I had to buy the tricks.
True.
Like, you're interested in magic because you find, I mean, I know that's maybe old school minded, I don't know, but
yeah.
I saw a magician, oh my God, I freaking loved it, and I bought tricks. And that's how you learn. But
yeah,
I'm not such as like, no, like, it's just only when they expose like really good tricks.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of views and just like expose it, just like, oh, this is what it is. And I'm like, oh, at the end of the day,
can't do that anymore.
No, freaking magic doesn't exist. It's just the art of making you believe in something that your eye can't see and that you can't understand. And that is fine. Like, just to make you kind of forget a little bit of the normal world, you know, that I'm like, oh my God, maybe it exists, maybe no. Like, because everything is possible in fucking social media. Everything is possible right now in movies, it's very hard to impress people. So impress, like taking them somewhere that is magical. But in real life, how crazy is that? You can have a movie in real life, like they can experience it themselves. And by you exposing that, they won't really believe it. If they go in and they search it and all this stuff, they can
that's
talking to a friend. Like, well, if they've done the research in the sense of like how this is done, they're already making an effort to find out. I'm like, cool, fair enough. Yeah. Sorry, it's just
there's been a fair few times where I've been scrolling through social media and I've seen something exposed and just thought, I didn't know it was going to be exposed, but I was then unwillingly shown that expose. So everybody else that's watching that might not necessarily want to know how it's done. They might not want to break that. But in scrolling out of curiosity, they've then had that completely ruined and shattered for the potential things that they could have had in the future. They could have seen that trick in the future and gone, wow, that's incredible. But you've then ruined that experience going forwards for that person that they could have potentially had.
Even though I have to say, with that, I have to say, not everyone wants to find out how it's done.
Exactly, yeah.
It's only the people who they might be curious or whatever, and I'm like, okay, maybe they go and find out whatever, and it's fine, and the curiosity is like, oh, okay, I can sleep now, which is great. Okay, if that makes you feel better, do it.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming here to have powers, you know. But maybe people fall in love with magic just because of that. They respect a little bit more. Which that's the thing. I don't know. Like, sometimes when you perform to people, there's people that are no, don't tell me. Or obviously I wouldn't tell. Like, don't worry, I won't tell you. But it's like they want to keep the magic alive, and there's people that are very curious and they want to find out because it's like a little puzzle for them. So at the end, I'm changing my mind now. At the end of the day, even though if you expose the people who wants to find out, they will find out anyway. Yeah. And the people who doesn't want to, they'll be like, oh, fuck, another one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Do you have a particular set of, obviously you have a lot of incredible friends within the industry. You have a lot of people that you've learned from and mentored from. Do you have a particular set of influences that stand out to you? Are there anybody from the magic industry that have influenced the way that you are? Maybe like 4 or 5 people, if you can narrow it down to 4 or 5. I know that's a very small number to try and cram it into.
Obviously, the one I mentioned, David, just because he is very clever, and then he makes me think out of the box in terms of like scripting, because I'm really bad at it. My best friend, Damien O'Brien.
Phenomenal magician.
Yeah, he is just so clever, and so like he's the same style as me in terms of performing and everything. With the scripting, he just makes everything sense, and then like putting tricks together and stuff like that. We love brainstorming, and he helps me out a lot with with the stuff when I have to like put things together. I'm like, oh, well, what you would think about this? Like, it's good to jam with someone
On
that
the same like wavelength.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I love how he performs. I think he's very relatable. Like, you can spend 1,000 hours with him, and very clever and very creative as well. Quite a struggle.
Sorry.
A little bit. Let's say, Carbonara effect.
Michael Carbonara.
Yeah, I really like the way that everything is done, because it's very natural, very like it happens on your eyes, and it's just clever as hell. I was like,
so good.
I'm thinking about it. David Blaine, I like him just because I think he's just himself, and then he doesn't stay for years the same way. He progresses. He evolves, but he's still himself.
I think that's what's helped keep his legacy alive throughout this. He's also changing with the times, but in doing so, he's still himself, but like an evolved and adapted version. And I mean, the stuff he's doing nowadays with like
not the animal,
all of the stunts and things is just insane. Yeah, maybe not the animals, but
it's like he just went like, well, I'm tired of magic. Let me just do real magic, and he just goes to the level. I just think that he's very clever in the way of like how he sells himself. Again, he evolves with everything, but still himself. I say Darren Brown. I love the way he puts things together, and everything makes sense. He doesn't tell me, well, my grandma gave me this, the ring that is. I mean, sorry, I hate that scripted. I'm like, surely your grandma didn't say that to you. Again, because we are in 2025.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
There's so many other ways you can present things. Like, why?
So I think Darren, again, because he's very psychological, I really like him.
I don't think there's a single person in the UK that hasn't been influenced in some way by Darren. Even if they don't do mentalism or anything psychology-wise, there's still something to take from, whether it's performance style or staging or structure or narrative. Like, the guy and obviously the team that he's working with, the likes of Andy Nyman and the rest of the team, are absolutely insane. Phenomenal guys.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we forget that, they are great. They are the image, but at the end of the day, they have a whole team of amazing magicians and consultants and stuff like that. So it's many brains.
Yeah.
One. That's what I tried to keep reminding to myself. I'm like, Sonia, you only just one brain. You don't have a whole team like, for you when you create stuff. So like, chill out. It is true. Sometimes it can be frustrated. Like, you want to create something, you want to do miracles. When I'm like, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a team, it's a bit harder. You know?
Yeah, having different perspectives and having that collaboration to bounce ideas and have just a different way that you can look on things is a massive difference.
To trust people on ideas. I'm very like, just in case you never know. I trust very little people. Oh, I have to say another person, Bo Creamer.
Bo's such a nice guy.
He's nice.
One of the nicest guys in magic.
Fucking clever.
Yeah.
Like, he is the most creative guy I've ever known. I'm like, your brain, Bo. And it's just, again, like, he is just really fun, and he evolves with everything. I don't know. My team, when I do something, and if I need opinion, is Damien and Bo. And I always say that, I'm like, if I ever have a project, I'm like, Bo, you are working with me. And then, like, yeah, like that'll be my way to go. And I was working in a performance that I was doing, and Bo helped me with it, just to have different ideas. Another Dennis, he's from New York. He's very clever. He works from Dan White.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I
don't remember his surname.
Yeah, he's brain as well. It's amazing. Again, a lot of people in the magic industry, they're all amazing. That's why it
Too
is
many
just
influences.
yeah, it's very interesting because it's like everyone is made very differently. So it's like, oh, what about this? What about that? You can't do that by yourself. So it's just
Yeah.
good to jam in general and just grab ideas, stuff like that.
I think it's really
what I said.
it's really nice being able to see other people's influence within performances as well. Like there's things you can watch and you can be like, oh, I can tell that's a little bit of Bo or that's a little bit of Damien in there. Like you can see those influences and those styles being mixed in. It's really cool to see. Just a quick interruption before we get into the next question. Obviously with this podcast comes a ton of recommendations from guests of either books or tricks, and logically I turn to MAGICBOX. Not only do they usually have exactly what I need, but I can get it the next day. Plus Graham and the team really know their magic, so if I have any questions or queries about a product, they're ready to answer over the phone or email. And as a bonus for you listeners at home, you can also grab 10% off with the code PATCT. Just head to magicbox.uk.com and use the code at the checkout. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Now back to the episode. We're going to delve a little more deeply into the stuff that you've done in the magic industry, and obviously we mentioned earlier your dance career and things like that. Obviously one of the unique aspects that you bring to your magic is that of adding your other passions like dance. So how do you think people can find inspiration in the things that they do? And how can you learn from, for example, dance, or what have you learned that has helped elevate your magic?
This is actually very interesting because I was talking, this to Damien. It was years ago because we were trying to find ways of it just incorporating the stuff. And I was just telling him, like, but you're so passionate about gaming. And I'm like, you could do some stuff with gaming stuff. So you just have two kind of ways of approaching. Because, for example, for me, right now it is movement, but it's more fashion as well. Because that's what I'm attracted to, and I'm very passionate. I'm like when I see an advert or everything when it's very visual. I don't know if you know the website called Nowness.
I don't think so.
Nowness is just there's a lot of projects, like artistic projects, it can be dance, it can be documentaries and stuff like that.
Okay.
Of people, and they very abstract. I don't know. I'm very passionate about visual stuff, and I'm like my last video that I put of the Calvin Klein one with the belt.
Yeah.
I just thought I was like, with the belt, I'm like, oh, but if it falls down and it shows your underwear, it can be like a fucking Calvin Klein advert. So then obviously I was like, oh, let's make it like an advert.
It did look like a Calvin Klein advert with the black and white and the aesthetic, and
good, because it took me time to do it. All the setup,
all paid off.
And I have to say, all my videos I do it by myself. Because people are like, well, you have an assistant. I'm like, buddy, I don't have anyone. I do it by myself, unfortunately. No, I'm very happy to do it by myself, though. That makes me learn everything.
I was going to say, is that because you enjoy learning the other creative aspects that go into it? Or is it because, I know certainly for me, I do all of the editing, I do all of the research, I do all of the show notes myself, purely because I know I will do it the way that I want it done. And not to say that I'm necessarily the best at doing whatever, but that's the perfection level that I'm looking for. Like some of these episodes, when I'm editing them meticulously, have thousands of cuts in like an hour-long episode, which just nobody else is going to do because nobody else cares enough to do that. But because I have the passion to put into it, do you think that's why you have learned all of those different skills, or do you think it is just down to enjoying the learning process and trying to find those different things, or maybe both?
I think it's both. I love to learn everything. I need to kind of know everything. Like when I'm telling you to the level that I learn stuff, like I learn how to do 3D printing, and I don't have a machine.
Why not?
But I went to YouTube. I learned how to do the program. I made the little piece that I needed it, I told to my friend, can you make this? He made it. It took me 3 days. Yes. But it was cheaper.
Fair.
And also, one of the things that you said, I just make sure that it is how I want it, because I find it very difficult to explain my idea.
Yeah.
It's not that someone else, it's not that someone else's can't meet my expectations. It is a struggle to express what I want to.
Yeah.
And mainly how I do it is by trying and getting it wrong. And like trying, because every single video I do or everything I do, I don't have a plan at all. Like nothing. I'm like, I just have the idea and I'm like, for example, let's say the Calvin Klein one, because it's the more recent one. I was like, okay, I want just the bell put to do that. And that's it. And I'm like, wait, but I get very inspired by music. If I don't have the music, I don't know what to do. Because again, you choreograph to music sometimes. So I had 3 little videos that I was like, that I filmed one. I just went straight to it. Like me coming to the camera, again, all kind of Calvin Klein, boom, belt off.
Yeah.
And I had another one and I was like, but that's not very Calvin Klein. But I'm like, but that works for Instagram anyway, because it's very like fast. Yeah. I'm like, but it's like, it is funny, but you go through all this process. There's like, okay, but it's for Instagram. But I'm like, yeah, but what do I want to say? But I'm like, but if I want to focus more a little bit of, if I want fashion brands to see me, they need to see what you want. They can't just imagine it. So you need to put them into that plate to be like, okay, this is me. You know?
How do you find a balance then between your creativity and the system?
What they want, right?
Yeah, like obviously Instagram and social media, there's a very specific thing that the algorithm likes, that people like watching. So how do you balance that with obviously your creative take and what you're trying to put across, the message, the vibe?
Yeah, that's been a journey, because that's kind of the struggle all the time, because it's like, but okay, so 2 things, just in case I don't remember. there is a part, for example, like there's projects that won't pay you that much, right? Let's say in general, right? Yeah. Projects for the heart, projects for money.
Yeah.
So projects for the heart is like what actually you want, but they won't pay you as much, let's say, right? Yeah. And the projects that there's for money is what you have to do to please the apps, let's say.
Yeah.
So to kind of sell yourself. So for me, let's say from the beginning, I wanted the magic industry to respect me. So I was focusing more on showing my skills, first of all, showing my skills and have the magic industry backing me up, because at the end of the day, they can give you jobs, and you know they can. Yeah, if people kind of respect you, be like, okay, in your industry, you have a 50% earn. And then after that, I was like, okay, I think I already shown my skills. And also just because as well, being in the women in the industry, they're like, oh, wow, she's not skillful. So I wanted to kind of get that rid of.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I am good. But then I was like, oh, let me show a little bit more of myself. So I think you kind of need to focus a little bit in different things. Yeah. Be like, you have an area, okay, let's say you are for 5 months focusing on this, and then you focus on something else. Like, you know, I think it's a bit of that. So I show that I have skills, and then I was very creative and another momentum of my life. So I was creating a lot of tricks and stuff like that. And that's how my Instagram kind of blowed a little bit more, because my audience is magicians, you know, normal people. They're just mainly magicians. I have to say, I don't have laymen, not many, because I don't do magic for normal people, I think. Yeah. I don't at least in Instagram, I don't like to perform on Instagram. I like to show what my mind is. Other times I wanted to grow my Instagram, so I just do stuff that works for Instagram.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, 10 seconds video, easy. I tried to always put in my vibe.
Yeah.
And I was like, the reason why I did that is because I already showed that I can do all the difficult
The
stuff,
other
let's
stuff,
say.
yeah.
So I was like, let me just build up a little bit more on Instagram, you know, for everyone. Boom, like cool videos, more visual. Obviously, always stuff that I like, though. I don't want to perform something that I don't.
Yeah.
At least for my Instagram. If it's for someone else's, if I have to perform something, I'm like, cool, fair enough. Yeah.
If the money's right.
Yeah. I always try to be authentic of what is good, like what I like. Because otherwise, you're kind of selling something that you're not believing in.
Do you then apply that same balance to the work that you're taking in? Do you try and find a balance between those fun creative projects and then more corporate projects, just so that you have an even amount of each? Or do you tend to favor one or the other?
So with that, if there is a project, for example, that doesn't align with what I like or what my person is, unless you pay me a lot of money, I might not grab it.
Yeah.
You need to pay me very good.
Take note, anybody that's looking to hire Sonia for marketing work or branding stuff.
But I have to say, I've been lucky that nothing like that has happened. That all the work that has come to my way is usually that I enjoyed it. And if I am not, let's say, if I don't really like it or something like that, and I just doing it because of money, I usually don't show it. Maybe like I just because it just doesn't align. I'm just talking about Instagram. I'm like, just because it doesn't align with the vibe, because at the end of the day, when you hire me, you hire me. Like my ideas, my vibe, my person, the way that I put things on, everything is very like aesthetically how I like it. So yeah, it's usually the brands. I'm lucky that what being put out, it comes across how I want it.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, that's the most difficult part. But for example, corporates, I love corporates. I do corporates all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it, and it's kind of learning what I said. Oh yeah, this is a dancer, a choreographer, really non-choreographer said. It's like there is jobs that don't pay you that well, but it fulfills your heart.
Yeah.
Like those jobs, when you do it, you will get hired more because you created relationships in there, and because they saw you working that good, that day you get other ones. And I've done so many like this. And I was like, at the beginning, I was like, oh, it's not great money. But then I was there, I was like, I fucking love this job. Like I loved it. It was a really, really good project. And then I met a lot of people. And those people, because they saw you working, and then you just get along really well, you might be finding other opportunities because of that. At the end of the day, it's all relationships. It is all by networking. Yeah.
And passion is such a massive thing. Like, if somebody's just doing something for the sake of money, you're not going to get the same level of perfection. Same with the likes of uploading to Instagram and creating content. If the person's not passionate and they're just doing it for money, you can really tell the difference between that and that of somebody who's thoroughly enjoying the whole process. They're enjoying the editing. They're enjoying sitting for hours finding the correct music to choreograph everything to. Like, you can sense that.
There's been so many magicians, don't say names.
I feel like we're going to start throwing hands with some people here, Sonia.
Never. I will never. Don't worry. No, they were just saying to me, oh, you could have done this. You can do this with your girlfriend. And I was like, but I'm not doing magic for that. Like, that's not, first of all, that's not who I am. I'm like, yes, I could earn so much money and I could do this and this. And I'm like, but the reason why I do this is because I enjoy it when it becomes a way of like getting crazy about money. And that's the reason why when they like, I teach fitness in the morning. But see, it kind of keeps me alive a little bit to like I don't want to depend on money, like on jobs for money.
Yeah.
I don't wanna be like, oh fuck, I need to grab this because I need money.
Yeah.
No, so the projects that I do is because I'm very passionate about it. And if they're not paying that well, it's fine. But at least I am agreeing with it. Like, and I'm like, and then you will learn from that. Like you will learn so many things from that project that you agree in, because it's for your heart at the end of the day.
Yeah, happiness over money every day. I'd rather be happy and broke than sad and rich.
Exactly. Like I don't.
If I could be happy and rich, perfect.
Yeah. Like this industry, at least it's I'm here for the art. I mean, I'm saying that obviously for the money as well, but you know,
We've got to live. We got to live.
yeah, but I'm not such as. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm gonna go to Facebook and I'm gonna do like a 10 minutes videos, and I'm like, that is wasting my time.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather live as a normal human being, you know, just being able to afford my stuff. That's it. But at least just the stuff that I do that is passionate for me. I don't want to sacrifice that. I don't think it's worth it.
And you have done some incredible passion projects, and obviously you've worked with some incredible brands that mean a lot to you. Obviously, as you've mentioned, you never really work with people that you don't sort of align with, whether it be the aesthetic or the vibe. And one of those incredible brands that you did work with was the likes of MAC Cosmetics. And we're going to hop into our annotated ERDNASE segment here, where you are going to watch yourself perform, which is always very daunting, I feel, for guests. So we're going to have a quick look.
Answer, so it's okay.
We're going to have a quick look at the MAC Cosmetics video, and then we'll talk about sort of the creativity that went into the project, the ideas behind it, why you specifically chose to do what you were doing, and how that all came about. So let's swap on over to our Mac cam. Find it. There we go. And let's have a look at this.
Tick, tick, boom. We bringing our toys. Separate men from the boys. Chop up the fingers, should be on the board. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Running like this, ain't no time out. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, we asleep. Not scaring nobody.
Yeah.
I am pretty certain that that music is copyrighted, so that might get muted when it comes around to the YouTube version of this. But it's a bop, so it's fine.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's an incredible song, and I was loving every second of jamming along to it, so it was worth it.
Something
non-copyrighted, but... So let's delve into that. Obviously, there's a lot of magic going on there. Mac, I assume, had taken you for the day to create some magical performances around their brand and to obviously incorporate what you do, which is very different to shooting an advert or something like that. So how did this come about, and how did you make the creative choices as to what you were going to perform and how it would fit with the brand and the brand message?
So that was a whole campaign for a month to do. So I was performing every that was just
30-second long video, and it was a whole month of work. That sounds like social media.
I know, that was a hypnotizing campaign for Christmas, and I was performing under very, very cold circumstances that I cried.
British winter. What do you expect?
Very, very cold. That's why you see me in a glass window, because I was like, guys, I can't be for like 4 hours outside. Because I'm like cold.
Hands are like frozen.
Yeah. I had like so many layers underneath of that suit. Yeah. Anyway, it was literally 1 day a week, and then like for 4 weeks in London, and then I got switched to Liverpool just for 1 day. So I think five days within like a month and something. So at the beginning they wanted to. They said like, oh, we're doing this campaign. We want you as the magician. We want you to do the tricks, da. And I was the one to be like, okay, I can create things for you. Are you looking forward to do product stuff or just cards or what? Usually it's best for you to give them to be like, oh, okay, I can do stuff with your products. If you are capable, like if you are able to send me some stuff, and then I will send you ideas. Obviously, everything NDAs. I always get.
We'll talk about this in general, no specifics.
yeah. Like, but for me, like for that campaign, I had to kind of be like, okay, cool. This is my consultation. This is what I could do. Just give ideas, but nothing visual. And then when they kind of be like, okay, they kind of see like, oh yeah, they will have to see what is going on because people cannot imagine what you can do because magic is so niche. They're like, yeah, but what you mean? They really need to see it. That's kind of what I learned in that campaign. Like, they really need to see what you're meaning, and by that, like, you need to be very specific, very very black and white like that. So so I created more or less like 12 tricks, maybe. That was a lot though, just because they were a little bit back and forward. They were not fast with me changing the products, not alternate, like breaking them or whatever. Yeah. Because some of the brands, this is something that you kind of need to consider it as a magician. Brands, they have the brand for a reason. You can't change the branding. Yeah. But you can't change the color. You can't change that. You need to mold to them, and you need to kind of showcase what they are. But this, I'm saying this because in magic is like transformation, and like, so vanishes, productions, that works.
It's difficult to do a transformation when you're not allowed to transform it into anything.
Yeah, but let's say. Again, you really need to kind of be careful how to talk to them in the sense of like, just sort of like what they want and what you can do. Yeah. Because also people's expectations with magic, they think you can do miracles.
Yep.
Not the case.
I've seen this on TV, or I've seen this in a film, and I'd like this. Well, so there's a lot of things you didn't see in that require a lot more than you're seeing. And your budget allows for.
Exactly. So I think for me, if you keep it light, you keep it very light, they don't want difficulties at the end of the day. And they want to spend the less money at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, you are not the priority. Yeah. You just want something fun usually for the thing. So for Mac, it, again, was very free. I could do just like multiplication of a product because it was the boxes, not the actual product. Yeah. But they gave me, for example, 2 of each product. They could give me that. But some of the brands, they know. Some of the brands, they just give you one thing. Like another brand that I did it was like, just the ring. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's not a lot of scope.
That worked it out so well that I didn't need to do another. Yeah, anyway. But so for Mac so I filmed myself doing all the videos. I sent it to them, and they kind of were happy with all of them, to be honest. And it was just my decision which one to do. And I was at the shop. The marketing girl was there, just being like, to do my times. Yeah. And to work out because it was Christmas and it was very cold. And then I just said to her, like, hey, it's very cold and my hands are going to be freezing. I'm like, can we do maybe sets of 10 minutes inside the shop and stuff like that? These are called activations for brandings. Yeah. So the brands, I didn't know this called activations, but it's just the brand they hire talent just for the event on the show to have some fun and to be like, oh, there's something going on. Yeah. Also as well, you kind of want to ask, be like, oh, are you going to give anything away? Or like, the more information you know, the better, because like that you can incorporate onto your magic. Yeah. And you kind of keep them very clear expectations of what you can and what you can't do. But not in the sense like, oh, I can't do that. But it'll be like, well, this is more done for TV, or this is like that. For a Sky Glass, it was at TV. Yeah. So I'm like, can I make the TV smaller? And I'm like, yeah, surely you can for TV, yeah. But not with the budget and not with the team like this. I'm like, okay, you want me to do that? I can bring a team on and then it'll be costing the double money.
Yeah.
I
You've got 10 minutes to come up with a trick. You've got 5 minutes to film it. Here's 50 quid. Good luck. We want a levitation.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Fantastic.
But for example, for Sky Glass, we did something similar. They created like a little glass for me, and I did like glass through window, and I was just with that glass. Like the team was with the glass around the UK.
No way.
It worked. Yeah, I did like 10. I did a whole campaign for the whole UK, like Glasgow, Birmingham, like London, to the offices, and the team was bringing their glass.
Wow. Throwing the I'll do it, but I need this glass.
yeah. But they made it. They made it.
Oh,
But it didn't
incredible.
cost that much money. But I think if it brings a nice experience to the team, they will do it. If
Yeah.
it's not super expensive, yeah, why not?
Yeah, of course.
At the end of the day, I think it has to be something cool, but what the people will remember is what you bring to the table. Like how, again, I keep repeating myself, how easy you work in, like, I can't remember. I'm getting crazy. Like, for example, I got hired by Skyglass because of Mac.
Yeah.
Because
they know
Mac.
you're easy to work with. You're not going to be a pain in the backside. Like, you're not going to throw demands about. They know they can, one, trust you, and they know that you're going to do a good job, and it's going to be reasonable that you're going to do. You're not going to be ridiculous. A drama queen.
Yeah, it's usually, I work a lot by word of mouth, like a lot.
Yeah.
And you never know who the people knows, right? Like a lot of people who saw me Mac, they're like, oh, I can get you for this. And when I did Miu Miu, like Prada and Balenciaga people and Fendi, they came to see me and they're like, oh, sick. Like, that's why, like, I think it's just, yeah, if you're charming, you know.
Again, it comes down to personality. It comes down to vibes. It comes down to just being you and expressing that. And again, they are paying for you. They're paying for what you bring to the table. They're not. They could pay anybody to do magic at the end of the day. It could be absolutely anyone, but they're paying for you. They're paying for your vibes. They're paying for your unique talents and the things that you bring to the table.
Yeah, I always say that. I'm like, and I always try to repeat that to myself. And I'm like, and that's what it comes from dance. I'm like, you are a product.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are a product, and you need to know how to sell yourself. And that doesn't come just like that. You kind of get to know yourself a little bit slowly.
It's hard. It's hard to like big yourself up and like really put yourself forward and be like, this is me, this is what I can do, when also trying to remain humble and trying not to like oversell yourself. It's a difficult thing.
And also I have to say, it's not as well, like, you don't have to be so niche or anything like that. Sometimes as well, it's like you are in the right moment and the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like that, I don't know, you're like, oh, why I'm not getting in? And I'm like, sometimes it's just luck, to be honest. Like, I have to say, I've been saying for so many years, I'm like, fuck, I really want to work for like high fashion. And then I was like, how can I attract that? And I was like, well, my Instagram doesn't attract high fashion, to be honest. Because I am more like urban, a little bit more like fun and that. And I'm like, okay, so now you need to kind of switch up a little bit. I'm like, well, maybe you need to buy some Prada clothes. And then, like, it is, unfortunately, you need to be what you want to attract.
Yeah.
Like, and if it doesn't feel, maybe it feels uncomfortable at the beginning, but maybe you get used to it. And maybe you like, if you like it, great. And if you don't. But for example, for Miu Miu, I realized that it's like they were looking for someone that is comfortable to treat the clients into a high standard.
Yeah.
So, as well, and also Miu Miu, they only kind of hire women for talents. But I was like, I was putting that to universe for so long time. I need a brand. I need a fashion brand to like hire me, because I think I just feel like once you are hired for one person, the rest will be like, oh, well, she's been working for Miu Miu. So then she kind of knows the deal.
Yeah.
You know, that again, hire someone that they know already that's going to perform than someone that they don't know. And it might be as good as the other person.
Yeah.
So,
again, it comes back down to that same thing with dance. They're always going to pick the person that they know can do the job well. They know they're going to be a good time. They know they're going to be easy to work with.
Moral of the story, you all should be dancing.
There we go. More vibes. That's what it is. More vibes, more dancing.
People
Obviously,
happy. No, I'm kidding.
in working with these brands, what does the process normally look like from initial concept all the way through to potential shoot days? How much does it differ? Does it tend to be a very similar thing in that you start with sort of the ideas, then you go from an ideas phase to, like you mentioned, showing them some proof of concept and then going through to shoots? What does that process look like for somebody who's potentially looking to get into this kind of marketing magic?
So if it's all depending on what type of job it is, I say, from my experience, the campaigns that I've done, they're quite quick. Everything is quite quick. Everything you don't need to work as quick as you can. Like
Time is money.
Yeah, like Zoom call or whatever. Or I think as well, first of all, you really need to just be careful they don't like, not to take the piss, but like, as you say, time is money. And if they change their mind, how many times they can change it and stuff like that. So for example, let's say, okay, so what you're looking for, how many days, and then also be like, to have maybe a contract to be like, that you are able to say a contract, or at least not contract, but you need to say, okay, these are I will provide you with, let's say, 5 ideas.
Yeah.
And you only have one chance to change it from that to new ideas, or just to change, because otherwise they can be like, oh no, but another one, but we're not happy with this, but I'm not happy with that. And then you kind of finish giving 20 ideas
that
they might not use, but they might get someone else to do it. Do you know what I mean? That has not happened before to me, but you just cannot, if it happens, you will learn from it. And then you're like, oh, okay, I should do this. But and also just because you will have more clarity and it'll be more easygoing for both parties to be like, okay, it's just more like straightforward. If they change dates, that is a new date that they are agreeing to. I mean, depending what the person is thinking. For me, depending if they really easy, I don't mind it for them to change the date. But if they have been a pain in the ass, yes, I'll charge you for it. Like if they've been not easy, I'll be like, well, unfortunately, I know you change it, but within this time frame, you change it. So obviously, I'm losing a day that I could be earning money.
More money.
But that's the same thing as a gig. I think you kind of need to look at it as a gig, but you need to kind of incorporate more like a consultation fee. How much time are you using for that for your creativity process? You need to kind of put a price to that. Are you going to have Zoom calls? Is that Zoom calls going to have a price to it as well? That it doesn't have to be like, well, if I have a Zoom call, I charge you this.
Yeah.
But it kind of have to be like, just again, you can be flexible, and then you will learn with every single project of how far you can go. My opinion, maybe don't be too strict, but don't get taken the piss off, you know.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, especially when you're working with the likes of brands, like you mentioned with managing expectations. Obviously, all that they see is what you've sent them and the final product. They don't see the 20, 30, 40 hours of R&D and changing stuff and thinking and going out and buying material. They don't see all of that. So then when you come to quoting for yourself as a whole, whether it be the consultancy fee, all of those things, that's stuff that also needs to be taken into account, because they don't know that's happening. But at the end of the day, you're spending time, effort, money, everything on that. So that's something that needs to be accounted for as well.
I have to say it's very, very overwhelming. And also because no one gets taught how to do this or how to manage yourself. This is at the end of the day a management thing, right? So you learn by experience and by fuck ups. But I learn like that. I learn by experience at the end of the day. And also I have to say, maybe is how good you want the job for. Like sometimes if I really want the job, because I know it's going to do good for me, maybe I will be more flexible. Like, for example, Miu Miu, like, it was amazing. like who hired me and everything, it was just everything is a good deal with me. They were just very easygoing and they loved me and everything. Like, it was a very, very good experience. In general, all my jobs, I never had anyone kind of taking the piss. Maybe I was like, oh, I should have done this, oh, I should have done that, but everyone has been cool. But yeah, I think it's depending as well how good you want it or how interested you are in the job. Like, let's say Sky Glass, they started only with 4 days and they liked it so much that they increased it to 10. So that's why. So I'm like, yeah, you're quoting them for 4 days, but sometimes quote them for less, they might hire you for more, which is you're going to do the same job anyway. So you're going to multiply it. So yeah, like, don't be, maybe I'll say, like, don't be maybe greedy. If you get if it's a campaign, if it's a one go, yes, fair enough, because you're doing so much work for 1 day. But if they can hire if it's going to be a whole campaign of more days, I personally think it has to be obviously decent. Like, don't charge as much, obviously, because it makes them feel as well like you're doing a price, which you are, to be honest. You're not charging them for 1 day. But yeah, and then, like, when you say shoots and stuff like that, for example, campaigns, they're not shoots. You kind of work out the stuff that I've done is like to be on the site. I don't know, Miu Miu was many hours, but I wanted to do it. So I was like, it's fine. Mac was like 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours, something like that. Again, you are not constantly performing. You just have to kind of be clever about it, how you manage your time within the job.
But I mean, even then, like, you're still actively doing stuff. Even when you're not performing, you're still thinking about what you're going to do next. You're still resetting, you're changing things, you're adapting to the environment. So even though you're not technically doing something, you're still doing something.
Yeah, like, Mac was more intricate because I had many things to do. So that was a little bit more fun, because in the sense that I could be like, oh, I do this one in here, I do that one in there. And I could just like play around with it. For Mimi, which is more just with playing cards. So it was just very easy going. Again, I think it's just, well, depending on what you're going to perform, that's how much, depending what you want to charge. But at the end of the day, I didn't create anything for Mimi. Personally, like, I didn't go through a whole creative process. We did, but it didn't, they didn't go ahead. Because they just wanted to hire something else. But for Mac, at the end of the day, I charged them for the creative process and what I created it as a whole, and then a different thing for me performing.
How do you personally deal with creative differences? Like you mentioned there with Miu Miu, you had the idea, you had this concept that you created that was then unfortunately something that didn't necessarily work for them. How do you feel about that, and how do you adapt and change to, because it's devastating when you've worked on something that you think's really cool and then somebody's like, unfortunately it doesn't fit.
Like for Miu Miu, it wasn't like I didn't create something like crazy for them. So I was and it probably will happen later on. And also I had a lot of trust with them. Like I trust the girl a lot. So yeah, like with her it's completely fine. Like I didn't mind, and I was like, oh, it's okay. Like I think maybe it's healthy to don't attach too much to your ideas. And at the end of the day, again, because I didn't create anything, but sometimes if I create something for a brand and I'm very attached and I'm like, I'm gonna do that for Instagram now. Because I'm like,
you can still use it somewhere else.
Yeah, you just get hyper fixated with it, and I'm like, at least me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to film it now. Because it was something that I wanted to do with Miu Miu. I wanted to film it. And then I was like, oh, but it'll be so good to do it with one of the bags and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so I just have to kind of modify it. I was like, I just wanted to post it on Instagram, and I was like, I will find a way to do it. Yeah, you kind of get devastated, but I think the more, there was something that someone said, it was a magician, it's like, David Williamson said, it's like, you grab your ideas, they are gold. And that is true.
Yeah.
But I also know the guy said, it's like, ideas come and go. And there is so many. And I'm like, this was just basically me not putting my my magic out there.
Yeah.
Like not selling it or whatever. And he was just saying, so people who kind of attach so much to their ideas sometimes is that they're not capable to have more. It's like, but if you share it, creativity is a muscle at the end of the day. So more ideas will come. You just need to kind of like practice it. Don't get so attached to something. When you let go, if you don't let go, things don't come in. There's not a space for you to open.
It narrows that focus, doesn't it? Because you're so focused on this one thing, it stops you from seeing all of the other potential possibilities.
Yeah. Obviously, take your time. I'm saying this, and I'm like, I'll take my time. I was like, no, I don't want anyone to find out. And now that it's been 1,000 years after, I can be like, oh, I'm okay now. I'm like, yeah, good. I'm like,
different in the moment.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, if I wouldn't have influence, if I wouldn't know other methods, my stuff, it wouldn't come. Like I wouldn't do anything if I didn't know how to do all the stuff. So at the end of the day, everyone, if we all share, we kind of develop from more. It is not, I'm great at this and no one else has did. Hell, I'm like, are you that special, babe? You might be special, but I'm like,
I mean, there's still that in the industry, which is another gripe.
They slow us, but at the end of the day, but this is like in dance. You have your base of vocabulary. You have this move, this move, this move. From that move, it changes, and I'd be like, ooh, and you give it a wave like this, and I'm like, but it's the same move, but you just did woo. You know, like you kind of just how you call it, like it develops. It evolves. There you go.
We go, evolves.
That's the word. Yeah, you need to evolve with everything, with the time, and that's why if not, you're just gonna get stuck and you're not gonna have ideas.
And I think that's one of the great things, even when ideas like that don't necessarily come to fruition, it means as well further down the line you've gained more knowledge, you've learnt more methods, you've taken in more creativity, and then it becomes a better product than what it could have been in the first place, or a better thing than it could have been in the first place, because you have more knowledge, you have more creativity, you have all of these things that you've learned, and as you say, it evolves into something more than it could have potentially been back when it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I always am a big believer of not regrets. I mean, like, whatever you did at the time is as good as you could do.
Yeah. So
I don't think it'd be like, oh, but I could have done this. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, we're not the same person by then. So that's what you, and that's all the kind of tools you had. So why could it be different? I'm like, yeah, if you do it like you do it now, something else, then you learn from that and then you do it differently or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, anyone could do better. If I wouldn't know.
Hindsight's a great thing.
Future. We are magicians, you know, and mind readers, but no freaking witches or wizards.
We're going to move into our second final segment as we're wrapping up here. And this second new segment is a thing called the question deck. And essentially what this is a deck of cards with 52 random questions on. And obviously I sent questions ahead of time, but I don't know what's going to come out of here. You don't know what's going to come out of here. So this creates an in-the-moment thing. This is... some of these questions are magic related, some of them are prolific life questions, and some of them are crazy things like, what's your favorite pizza topping? So we could get absolutely anything here. But all you're gonna do, you're gonna call out stop. There's no breaks. There's no pauses. You get whatever question you get, and we'll roll with it. So call out stop whenever you want, and we'll take the card that's on the face.
Stop.
There.
Yeah.
So this is our question for
today.
today.
What I said. I'm kidding.
What's your favorite setting to perform in, and why?
Oh my god. Close up.
Okay.
Just a
Close up in what environment? Are we talking close up in like a wedding sense? Are we talking close up in a corporate sense, or just close up as a general?
Let's say when people are like just having a drink, just chilling. There's a little bit of like music in the background, so that it's not like completely silent.
Nice relaxed atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah, and the people are just having a good time, having a few drinks, because that always helps on people releasing, and then being themselves a little bit more, so there's not much tension. That's easier for me than breaking the ice.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, do you want to see a trick?
No, I just want to eat my meal.
Yeah, they'll be like, no, thank you.
Incredible. This has been an absolutely fantastic talk. I've certainly learned a lot of new things that I'm going to apply to the stuff that I do, especially things when it comes to like branding and marketing. Obviously, we have a very similar mindset when it comes to perfectionism with what we do. But what are your plans for the future? Do you have anything in the works that you can tell us about that you may not have signed an NDA for?
I did, but I'm looking. I've got little projects that I really want to start doing. I've got little videos that I want to film, that I'm slowly doing it. I've been working 1,000 years in a deck of cards. Still, I have the back of it. Don't know when that's gonna happen, but it's still in project. And then there's one project coming for next year, but it's still in the things. But very excited for that. And yeah, and then maybe put as well, need to talk by just pulling my magic out, just putting it out there. I need to work on that.
From a creative perspective, like putting your tricks out into the community, is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, so like the tricks that I've created for like social media and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna share them with the magic industry.
Oof, I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's important, and I'm looking forward to it. I think if I don't put it out there, like again, I feed from another people. I want people to feed from me as well. So if I can contribute to the magic industry that way as well, apart from me just performing, I think that's great. And if people like it, I'll be like, yeah, love it.
Even better. I love being able to see people's creative mindsets and the different way that everybody thinks. Like, even if I'm not necessarily going to perform a trick, or even if, for example, a book, there's loads of tricks in books that I might not ever do, but still being able to see people's thought processes and understanding and creative ideas can then spark other things that do then branch into the stuff that I want to do. So I'm excited to see how your brain works, whether it's not going to be in a book, let's be honest, it's going to be in video format, maybe an audiobook. Who knows?
It might be a book, just to show you off. Yeah, what is this? Is this Sonia's? No, but I'm very excited to just do the whole process. I think at the end of the day is I learned to enjoy it is like you need to enjoy the process. That's why we do this. And that's as a dancer, it's like you do dance because you love the process of it, not because of what you get. Because at the end of the day, for example, this is a friend of mine used to say, and it is true, like the reason why you do what you do is because the lifestyle that gives you, and that you get to do it every day and then work on it every time. Because when you perform, as a dancer, it might be 5 minutes of your 5 minutes of your day for that project, or it might be an hour, or it might be just a whole tour or whatever. But it's the same thing for magic. Like if you don't enjoy the whole process of learning, or like, oh, maybe not this or that, I don't know. That at the end of the day, the ending is like, I'll show you a trick.
Yeah.
Or,
The
"No,
end
you have a
goal.
performance." Yeah, but you enjoy to create your whole show or collaborating with people, meeting new places. Is the whole process, the whole project of it.
Yeah, the end goal is more of a reward for what you've done than
Yes,
like
that's why I'm
the
excited.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to be like, "Ooh, should I do it this way? Should I?" No, I'll be like, "Oh, maybe I should have done it this way."
Well, I look forward to seeing the audiobook or hearing the audiobook.
Oh, just when I hear me an ASMR.
Oh, maybe.
I should do it. I should do it on the microphone.
Oh, good. Please, let's not get ASMR into the magic community. I think they need to stay very separate.
Oh, I had a project with that. Sorry. With that.
Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah,
who knows?
it was really fun. It was like sorry, I need to tell you because I'm.
Wait, actually, like,
Yeah,
that's
it was
really.
like a 3D situation.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
I'll send it to you. It was in COVID. In my hyperfixation on things, I was searching of how to do a 3D audio.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want someone who can experience, maybe someone if they can't see, I want them to experience magic through the ears. And I was like, if you listen to it, you can hear me in this ear and this one and playing around. It's like a little story. And the magic trick is one of the Peter Turner. Because
That's really cool.
Yeah, he does it's just
Well, if you send that through, I'll link it in the show notes for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean,
fair enough. That's very cool. But just whispering instructions into a microphone on how to do a trick is a different story.
But I think that's something. Oh, now you gave me an idea. I'm gonna do it like that. not the whole thing though, but anyway, doing this thing, I discovered that you need to do it professionally. That you need to hire a studio and all the stuff. And I was like, I didn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
But I found a way to do it cheaper. And it worked. It is not amazing. Like you can hear me coming to one side and the other.
Yeah.
But the back and you can hear someone knocking at the door and the person talking and then me walking. Like the whole process of that, it is really fun to do.
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
Like the idea, like for example, what I've done. Like now I'll be like, oh, it's a bit cringy. When I listened to it the other day, I was like, oh man, I could have done it so much better. But by then, I freaking love it. And because I was doing it on YouTube, the way I wanted to, the advertiser in YouTube, it was my friends listening to it and just seeing the reaction be like this.
Yeah.
It was really funny. Actually, I might put it out on my Instagram again. Because people are hearing things on their headphones so they can hear it.
Yeah, 8D audio stuff's crazy where you can hear people like walking around you. Have you done the Darkfield experiences?
No, what is that?
Darkfield is an audio experience. They have them at Edinburgh Fringe Festival. They tour around the world. It's essentially a shipping container where you go in, you sit down. Some of them, one of them's a seance, and you sit at a table, and then it all goes into darkness, and you only hear audio, but you can hear things moving around you. You can feel things interacting with you. Another one's a plane, so you go into the shipping container and it looks like the interior of a plane, and you get these crazy audio experiences. That's so cool. If you're ever near one, or if you're up at the Edinburgh Fringe at any point, or the other Fringe festivals, check them out. They're insane.
I'm saying oh my God, that sounds very exciting. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted for people to experience. I was like, I want people to experience what they experience in like very immersive stuff, but just like in the house or just by listening to it. But I could have figured it out on Instagram that you can't have that kind of option. But if you listen to it on YouTube, you can. So I'm gonna try to find out because I think I posted on Instagram and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll try again and I make it better.
And technology's evolved as well since then. So it might be something that you can then start working with, like full surround as opposed to just like left and right audio, because obviously technology's developed and it's significantly cheaper than now hiring an entire studio to do.
Oh no, I mean,
eight-dimensional audio.
It was like £50.
Jeez.
It was on the earphones, was it? I have a statue. I had a statue. and I put the headphones on top of each ear of the statue.
And you were working around it.
Yeah, I put the statue in the middle, like if it would be on the same level as a person, and then on a chair in the middle of my bedroom, my living room.
Way.
And I was just doing everything. I was like, okay, it has to be far. It has to be closer to the ear. Like, yeah, if you are kind of halfway, it doesn't work. But yeah, it was. I got someone to call at the door, talking to me. I'm like closing, and you can hear the steps. And I was like, oh, let me just put some music, and all of a sudden, buzzing the music, and it coming to your ear. Like it has kind of make sense a little bit, but it had to be a little bit more of magic. So the magic was at the end. So I was just telling them like, okay, I want you to listen to this. Yeah.
I look forward to experiencing it. Sounds great. Perfect. Where can our listeners find you, Sonia? Whether this be your website, Instagram, where can we keep up to date with the incredible things that you're doing?
They can mainly find me on Instagram, Sonia Benito Magic. I mean, you want to check it on my website, more than welcome, because I did it myself and I'm very proud. Like everything. Self-taught with everything. SoniaBenito.com. And I have my YouTube, but I don't use it that much. If you put Sonia Benito Magician, you find me in there anyway.
Perfect. Yeah. It'll all be linked in the show notes below. Well, it's been an absolutely phenomenal conversation. Thank you so much for spending time with me and talking through magic. It's not often that as magicians we get to sit down and just sort of geek out about magic, because whenever we're together, we're showing each other stuff, or we're developing new things, or we're working towards something, and it's not often you get to just relax and just chat about the stuff you enjoy. So thank you very much for spending time.
Thank you for having me.
If you guys at home have enjoyed it, which I assume you have, let us know in the comments what you've learned from this episode. And if you want to take up some dance classes, that's what you need to do. That's your homework. Take up some dance classes.
Go and dance and have fun.
And then leave a 5-star review on the podcast. We love those. But thank you so much for joining us today, and we shall catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye. That's being left in.